When we analyze charts, it's important to know the trend and the pattern forming. But it's not complete until you've added some indicators to determine if it confirms what you're seeing in the chart or not. Today's episode will feature one of the more popular indicators that is used and will show you how to use it. Good day. I'm Bonner Ditok and this is Trend Spotting in the PSE. With me today is one of our former students, Mr. Tim Hong. Hi Tim.
Hello, Bonner.
Okay. So after ng seminar dati, alam ko una nag-apply ka muna sa PSE. And
Yes.
then I think a few months ago, sabi mo sa akin, medyo ang hirap kumita ngayon sa PSE ah. So I will try other markets. Saan ka na nag-try ngayon?
Initially, I started trying out sa Hong Kong. That was around back in March of
Okay.
this year.
And
So,
kumusta?
uh, initially talaga, well, as comparing to my experience in the PSE, it's a totally different ball game sa Hong Kong. Kasi first of all, it's one of the more liquid markets in the world. So, talaga looking at stocks, screening, it's parang different experience talaga because I think the volume really makes a difference sa activity, sa price movement, and essentially how you view the market and the specific stocks.
Yeah.
So initially yun yung napansin ko talaga. So it made my it really parang instilled discipline in me and made me really follow my setups, my trading plan, etc. Kasi ang bilis ng galawan eh. Parang kunyari, magte-take profit ka na, hindi, bigla bumagsak, talagang babagsak yon, and vice versa. So initially, that was my experience with the Hong Kong market. Then in terms of yung like what you mentioned na madali kumita or hindi, I think I got in the wrong time din eh kasi medyo sideways yung market since I started. So
Mhm.
hit and miss din siya minsan.
So, yung tanong niyan, sabi mo is a different market than yung nasa alam natin, no?
Yes,
Um,
yes.
in what way?
Uh well, like I mentioned, yung since kasi sa PSE, in terms of the other markets kasi the PSE is relatively illiquid. So minsan some stocks na you play with, 'di ba? Minsan few hundred trades lang, gano'n. Then very low yung value or volume traded niya per day. So the price movement can be limited as compared to yung some stocks sa Hong Kong. Kasi doon talaga there are a lot more people playing the market, there are a lot more institutions and whales, tapos meron pang mga automated trading, ganyan. So, the volume adds up, stacks up, tapos yun, nakikita mo yung totally different experience. And something more specific, wala rin dong ceiling and floor
Yan
compared sa
ang malaki.
PSE. So,
Yan
yun nga,
malaki.
together with yung high volume, talaga pag kunyari talagang bullish yung isang sector, then let's say may catalyst, may news, talagang ang laki ng sisipa niyan. Oh, and in the same way then conversely, pag may bad news, talaga babagsak at babagsak din 'yan.
So, naka-experience ka na may umakyat more than 50%. And
Yes, oo.
kung bumaba, meron din lampas 50%.
Oo, then ano rin, meron din yung 'pag nag-gap up siya, talagang ang layo. Pag gap down, gano'n din. Tsaka,
Ah,
another more important different is may short selling dun. Sa'tin kasi 'di ba, it's a long only market.
it's a
Well,
very restrictive
yeah.
tool here. Eh.
Yes, yes. I mean, I think there's a short selling available pero very limited as compared to other markets.
Don't you need a margin account para pwede ka mag-short sell doon?
Yes, yes, you need a margin account.
O yun.
Oo, so
Yun. Ibang usapan na yan.
yeah, it's a topic for a different day.
Oo. Sige, good to know na medyo nag-branch out ka na and I hope you're going to do even better sa other markets
Yeah.
than
Thanks.
your initial experience.
Yes,
So,
hopefully.
ngayon, ito ngayon ang magandang tanong. Yung napag-aralan mo ba dati, doesn't doesn't have to be yung sa atin lang, no? I mean, I'm sure there are other seminars out there which you could have also taken para ma-enrich lalo yung learnings mo. Were you able to apply it to these other markets?
Yes, of course. Actually, the most of the things na I learned like sa seminar natin is I found it to be more or less universal naman. Like the strategies, the indicators and the other stuff that we talked about, kahit sa naman, kahit sa forex, kahit sa yan, sa crypto, sa HK, more or less the same concepts apply. It's just that I think you have to adjust some things based on your strategy and based on the market. Like
Okay.
you have to fine tune it a little, as they
Okay.
say. Uh
We mentioned kanina sa intro natin that we are going to show them how we use an indicator sa chart. So,
Yes.
meron ka bang naka-ready dyan?
Actually, the indicator I wanted to discuss with you is, yeah, like what you said, the most one of the most widely used indicators, and probably one of the more basic ones. Then is the MACD.
Okay. Can
Oo.
you show us yung how you use it?
Okay. Basically, yung MACD kasi is the moving average convergence divergence. So essentially, it's a trend following trend following indicator, or if you want to see check the momentum of the stock or the whatever you're following. So essentially, uh, sa akin, the way I use MACD kasi is very simple lang. So for example, I see, let's say, a certain stock, di ba? Tas I want to determine, oy, parang medyo okay ba to, or is it like meron bang opportunity here to trade? Uh, One of the first things I looked at besides the price movement and the price action is yung check ko yung MACD niya. Kasi 'di ba yung MACD, it has like the two lines that you could use, the oscillator that you could use to check the condition or the status of the stock. Kung let's say, kung nakita mo na it's trending upward, so parang may momentum siya, may possible momentum siya going up, or pag pababa siya, baka medyo bearish na siya. This is a very, of course, this is a very simplistic way of explaining it. There are multiple levels to it.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have a chart here.
Uh,
Chart of IMI.
Integrated micro
Yes,
electronics.
one of the, in case hindi nyo alam, this is an Ayala company.
Okay, so essentially, the way I use the MACD kasi, let's say, starting from February, yung recent high of IMI, 'di ba? Clearly the stock has experienced some sort of correction or a pullback, depending on
Mm.
how you look at it and how long term your view is. But in this included in ito sa chart na to, clearly from the high of around 14.5 to 15, nag-pull back yung stock pababa.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we saw this chart, I think around late September ba or early October, somewhere there. If you look at the September area of the price chart, syempre, if you just look at that, you won't really know kung uh, is it time to buy, time to sell, or what, 'di ba? So if you look at the pattern, the price action, parang there could be something there. Pero to help us confirm this bias or this prediction, 'di ba? We can look at the MACD. So dito makita natin sa galaw ng MACD, more or less it conforms to the movement of the price of the stock. So
Mm.
far, I mean, this for a later discussion, pero so far parang medyo may divergence siya somewhere, pero more or less this it conforms to the price movement.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, what made this a buy for us, or for me at least, is if you look at the around October, diba, there's this long green candle, the one
Yes.
below the red line, diba? If
The
you look
one,
at
yeah,
yun, diba, yung medyo from around maybe
this
what's that?
area.
Yeah, there, yeah, seven, yan, no.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
look at the MACD, clearly nag-crossover yung fast line sa slow line or sa
Yes.
MACD line.
Oh.
So, one basic application of MACD is parang nagiging signal siya for some traders to buy or sell depending on your market. So dito nakita na tinusok, grabe nga yung slope ng fast line paakyat to pag-crossover niya sa tawag dito, sa slow line.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, hindi man clearly, but if you're a trader and you want to incorporate this in your plan, this crossover could actually be a buy signal for you. And fortunately, nung binili natin to at that point, tumuloy siya. 'Di ba? From around yung mga 7.5 ba yan? Or
No,
I think
that's
7.5, 7.7.
actually breakout point is 806 more or less.
Yeah, more or less 8. Basta that if you wanted to, let's say, front run it or unahan mo siya, you could have if you followed this this signal, or hindi naman front run pero medyo at least nakasakay ka diyan dapat with a nice uh, entry point.
Mm-hmm. Yun lang.
So,
Of course, you have other considerations too.
yeah,
There are other indicators, pero
yes, yes, of course. Pero
you're
this
just
is
concentrating on the MACD.
oo. Tas of course, like with any indicator, the MACD has a lot of limitations din, 'di ba? So, you cannot take this on its own. And you cannot parang hindi siya parang nag-crossover, bili. O bumalik na, nag-crossover pababa naman, sell na. Hindi siya exact science like that.
Yes. So, yan na nga, no? Sinasabi nga ni Tim, you need to combine indicators with each other. Hindi pwedeng isa lang. So,
Yes.
kaya nga dito sa chart natin, medyo marami-rami yung mga nilagay natin. At first glance, medyo magugulang kayo. Pero later, when you get to join a seminar, not necessarily ours, but yeah, we will get to that later.
Mm. Siyempre, it depends on your, of course, it depends on your setup, di ba? Your trading plan, kung anong indicator or anong lalagay mo sa chart mo to make you understand it more or to make it easier for you to analyze a certain stock.
Yes. So, ang indication sa ata dito is that this was already a buy but not now yung presyo. It should have been around a month ago.
Yes, or mga 3 weeks ago. Somewhere there, yung sa area na yan.
Oh,
Somewhere between yung mga 8, between maybe 7.8 to 8.3, somewhere there, maybe.
okay. So, well, it doesn't mean na hindi na pwedeng bumili.
Yeah.
Mas mataas lang nga yung presyo nyo. Pero the potential for this, medyo malayo-layo pa.
Mm-mm.
But
If it goes according to plan.
yes. Pero still, with kahit sabi mo na on the medium term scale, I think you're still looking at roughly around 20-30% upside for this. And
Yes.
umpisa pa lang, di ba?
Yes, umpisa pa lang siya, and like since this just kaka recently broke out of the resistance, may mga malapit pang support diyan if ever. Hindi siya gano'n
Ayun.
kalayo. Oo. So
Ayun.
your risk could be a little bit low. But of course, this is not, as they say, this is not financial advice, 'di ba? You
Oh,
still
no,
have
no.
to do it yourself and
Oo.
see kung kamusta yung price for you.
Tama yun, no? This is our own opinion. This is not solicitation for anyone to buy this. Definitely not a recommendation for anyone to buy this. This is just our own analysis.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Tim. So that's how we use the MACD.
Mm.
Now, together with the MACD, we now have to look at the whole thing. And by the whole thing, we're going to take a look at the biggest picture that we need to look at, which is our index. we're looking at the index forming a double bottom. After hitting 7.3, what was the high? 7.326. Lana, it's been downhill from that point. To the point na ending natin last week was 7.054. From 7.3 in 1 week, you lost roughly 300 points.
Malaki yun.
Malaki, oh. And ngayon, you're looking at the psychological support of 7,000. 50 points away, 7,000. So what happens now? Well, I applied the Fibonacci retracement from, lagay natin from that point. And then, to make it clearer for me, I need to see the bigger picture. Okay, it turns out, itong pagbaba ni PSEI is at the 50% retracement area of the smaller retracement that I drew. Now, confluence area, meron ba? It's it's at this area of
Yes.
6936 and 6982, roughly a 50-point spread. What does that mean? Pag nabasag ang 7,000, itong area dapat mag-hold. Yan. Pag hindi nag-hold yan, medyo may problema tayo. Kasi
Mm.
you're probably going to see it go back and retest this area of around 6.8.
6, 7, somewhere there.
6, oh, high 6.7 naman. Pero
Oo.
roughly around 6.8. So, yeah, ang only thing na pwede natin sabihin ngayon as far as the index is concerned, is just wait it out, see what happens. Ingat-ingat lang muna. Huwag tayo masyadong aggressive. Hindi malinaw yung direksyon ng index ngayon.
Yeah.
And in fact, MACD tayo, no? Your MACD just crossed down. I mean, the fast line crossed below the slow line. So, this one is a bearish indicator. Although it may be short term, still, what it's telling us is you should expect a little more retracement if it so happens na tumuloy. Yan ang nakikita natin.
Yes.
Okay. So, anything else to share with our audience?
Yes. Share mo na.
Yung ating upcoming seminar, the last for the year, ito, the last comprehensive 3-day seminar on technical analysis will happen on November 13, 20, and 27. We'll do it online. It's for everyone's safety anyway.
Mm.
So, if you are seriously considering joining this seminar of ours, Viber us at 0918-935-4716. Guys, if you still don't know, ano na ako, no? Magbubuhat na ako ng sariling bangko. This is your starting point. You get to understand from this seminar what you need to know. Everything else that follows, mas mabilis. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing
Thank
with us
you.
your knowledge on the MACD and how we use its charts. For other indicators that we will be discussing in the future, just watch out for it. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you.
See you next time.